On November 18th, 2023, I posted a video titled, "I Quit My Job to Be an Inventor, Episode 1. It got 3 comments, one from my friend, shout out Marco, one from my little brother, and another from my alt account. But you know what? Call it Cove, it's not all about the views. Posting that video was what I needed to burn the boats and dive into the unknown of documenting and building my first product, myTMJ pen, a portable, heated massager of all things. And 18 episodes later, this little jaw massager is my full-time job, where in January alone, we had $50,000 in sales. So last week, why in the world did I shut down ads, quit assembling, and stop shipping? That's what I want to share in this video. And don't worry, this business isn't dead. This series isn't dead. I'm just cooking up some crazy sauce, yo, that needed this shutdown to happen. But let's back up a bit and pause. I really dropped that $50,000 a month number on you like it was normal. Boys, can we get a round of goddamn applause going right now? I'm not trying to flex, but like, you guys can go watch day 1 of this project. Straight up a year making 0 money from this, and all of a sudden I make more in 3 months than a year's salary. That is a massive win, and I just wanted to share it with you guys in case it inspires anyone to go out and build their own product. Speaking of which, y'all have been begging, so I'm planning an educational series to help any of you guys who want to build your own product from your bedroom without a penny of outside investment. From how to come up with actually good ideas to circuit board design, manufacturing, marketing, legal stuff, everything I've learned. I have a lot of thoughts, so subscribe, I'll try to get that out soon. But anyways, before we can get to why sales have completely stopped, I gotta update you guys. Right after last episode, I went to Hawaii to exhibit my first ever dental trade show. And I actually learned a lot. When I went to the massage therapist trade show back in October, I learned that doing things alone sucks. Mainly because as soon as you have one person come up interested in buying, you'll at the same time get swarmed by a bunch of other people interested too. So while you're trying to close that first sale, you lose out on talking to everyone else and getting another. That's why this time I tricked my lovely girlfriend into coming with me to help by telling her it was gonna be a free Hawaii chill sesh. It was not. And you might be thinking like, damn, Hawaii, this guy really thinks he's him now all of a sudden, you know? Okay, Mr. Business Traveler, man. Yo, I swear Hawaii was by far the cheapest option. Mainly because of the booth, which only cost me 1,200 bucks. And for reference, the big alternate trade shows I could have gone to around this time were around 6,000. And that's just for the booth. So let's break down the rest of the costs. We had 1,200 for the booth, 108 for some new booth decorations, 495 for the flight, which by the way is kind of cheap from DC, I feel like. Then 770 for hotel, 155 for food, and 465 for product costs. Which now leads us to the juicy profits. Over the 2 days of the show, we made $3,150 in sales. And then we got 500 more coming in the next couple weeks from those same people. Meaning, doing the math, we are left with a fat $562 in profit. Let's go! Guys, making a profit from a trade show booth is actually huge because normally you look to kind of break even and then the rest you make back in exposure and connections with partners, distributors, stuff like that. Is exactly what another coper would say because guys, Hawaii is far. 10 hours both ways, and then 2 days of 10 hours standing around in a booth for 2 people. Mathing it out, that's $7 an hour. I didn't quit my damn engineering job to make $7 an hour. And for context, during those 2 days of the trade show, I made $4,000 in profit from ads, working 0 hours. So lesson number 1 from this show, screw trade shows, no more. Although I really don't regret doing this one because I swear the main reason I wanted to go was to get a quick gauge on how dentists react to my product. And I really did learn a lot there. First of all, I locked in an insane hook. You like making your patients feel better? You like making your patients feel better? You like making your patients feel better? My boy in the booth next to me hooked me up with that one. The second lesson was actually really interesting. There were a couple dentists who did actually treat TMJ disorders, the chronic jaw pain my product helps with. But believe it or not, they were the most dismissive ones. One literally got in some weird sparring match with me about how much I really know about TMJ disorders. I'd be trying to ask him questions about what they do in his clinic so I could get to the fact that this isn't a new treatment I'm proposing, but something he could use to offer his patients to take home to manage the pain day to day while they spend months trying to fix their jaw dysfunction. But he wouldn't let me get a word in. Like, months? No, my patients come out cured instantly. So I was like, oh yeah, word? Like, I'm curious, what do you do? There's nothing like that I've heard of in the TMJ space. He's like, wouldn't you like to know? I guess you really don't know anything. bro, what? It was actually insane though, but others wouldn't even come up to talk to me at all, as if they thought of me as a competitor or something. I really don't know. But I guess it's not that surprising. Anyone with TMJ disorder knows that these specialists can be the goats of bias, gatekeeping, and gaslighting. But who cares? Because I was there for the general dentist, and that actually went amazingly. I really did confirm that these dentists do see people with jaw pain all the time, and that they have absolutely nothing to offer them other than like a short break between hours of excruciating mouth opening. It felt good to make those sales, and at the end of the show, my girlfriend and I got to enjoy a nice 2 days in Hawaii, stress-free, knowing the whole trip was paid for. But on the plane ride back, I started work on what I think is going to be one of the most impactful projects of this entire series. I started writing a book. Why am I writing a book? Well, there's the sort of real answer, and then there's the real answer. The sort of real answer is because nothing like it exists. Over my years dealing with TMJ disorder, the biggest problem I've noticed is how hard it is to get a grasp on what's actually going wrong with the TMJ. It took me years reading research papers, getting opinions from dentists, surgeons, PTs, massage therapists, chiropractors, hundreds of patients, attending a research conference. No practitioner will ever have the time to explain this stuff in a nuanced way. And 99% of patients won't take the time like I did to piece it all together from different sources. The sad fact is that if I had known what I know now, my jaw never would have locked closed. I wouldn't be in this position. Sometimes you have to take things into your own hands to cure yourself, and for that you need information. So I'm currently like 40 pages in, and I know this ebook will have more potential to change lives than even my TMJ pen. But here's the real reason. I need a lead magnet. That's what they call something you can give away for free to drive people to buy your product. And as Alex Hormozi says, you should be making your lead magnet so damn good that people feel bad not paying you for it. I think this is it, and I'm very excited to try to grow the business around it. But even though things are looking up, maybe because they're looking up, I'm starting to feel overstretched. Sales are gonna hit the 1,000 mark soon, and I kind of feel like I'm that Slinky dog from Toy Story, just like sprinting forward, and now I'm looking back, realizing I just left my butt back there, and it's all gonna just snap. I don't want to snap, so I decided to do something drastic. Instead of just reordering components and doubling down on what's been working, I decided to run out of stock, turn off ads, and go on back order to give my butt a little time to catch up, you know? For example, I got this email from a customer who wanted to return her myTMJ pen because it made her pain worse. But here's the thing, the research shows that heat and massage helps more than 75% of people with TMJ disorder. But that's a quarter of the population who won't find it useful. We are extremely transparent about that, which is why we offer the 90-day risk-free trial. So you'll see we have like a 95% positive reviews because whoever doesn't like it gets a refund. But we're in America, and I don't know, man, it's starting to feel a little risky. Like at some point, someone is gonna threaten to sue. That's just how things are. So to calm down, I did a little research and decided to be a big boy and buy insurance. I'm not gonna lie, this is a part where I wish I had a mentor for all this stuff because I'm only like 90% sure it covers me all the way. But it is what it is. Bit of weight lifted off my shoulders. But then there's another one. The fact that I've been in the process of figuring out FCC compliance. And here's the thing, the FCC regulates all electronics that emit any kind of frequencies that might screw up the airwaves. My device has a microcontroller, so it emits some kind of frequencies, but absolutely nothing compared to products that have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or RFID, that kind of stuff. So mine falls under something they call a non-intentional radiator, which lets me self-certify with their supplier's declaration of conformity process. But to issue an SDoC, you gotta have supported testing by a lab. And I haven't done that yet, which is why I've been very careful about talking about this topic, even though some of you have been asking about it. But I do want to keep it transparent and real. This is just one of those tiny risks that have to be taken to bootstrap a product by yourself, which, you know, some of you will scoff at. It's usually not going to be the entrepreneurs that are scoffing. It'll be the industry engineers because they know how little things can become very big things at scale. And in industry, initial costs don't mean that much. You know, it's company money. But for me, I'm at a very small scale where initial costs matter a lot. Lab tests cost thousands of dollars, which I just didn't have until now. And it's not like this is a safety issue. So now I found a lab, except before I sent in my device, there was a bit of a problem with the electronics in my way. It all started in December when I discovered this. That is electrical noise, a lot of it, right across my motor terminals. Again, there's nothing dangerous. I've had several real engineers look at my design. It would probably pass testing anyway, but maybe not, and I didn't want to risk the $2,000 to find out. The biggest problem was that the whole battery rail would get affected and cause my low battery mode to trip early when the motor was on. This would effectively half my battery life, but I quickly realized I could fix that in code by just averaging the signal. The rest of the problems as far as usability, well, there weren't really any. Sometimes the motor would make a wobbling noise, but not so much, so I obviously ended up selling through the entire batch. If for some reason they start breaking in a year, I have a warranty, no big deal. But after selling out, instead of reordering, I would just try to fix the noise issue and have those FCC tests before the next one. I was pretty confident in the fact that it was all actually because of my layout. Specifically, I had a 2-layer board and the components were all packed so close together with so many crisscrossing traces that there had to be some sort of interference issue. So I redesigned it to be a 4-layer board and sent it out for prototyping. The day before I flew to Hawaii, I got to test this board, but I was wrong. The extra layers did absolutely nothing. And the next morning, I was waking up at 4 a.m. to fly. This was me the next night, bugging out over my design in the hotel. Except then, something magical happened. You guys. I just happen to have a community of a bunch of smarty pants, some of whom do EMC stuff for a living. A bunch of you sent over suggestions, and bro literally sent me a PowerPoint about possible solutions. But it turns out things weren't broken because of some super complicated signals theory. It was actually because I'm an idiot. There was a capacitor that was under spec for the voltage I was using. So in the hotel, I ordered some new parts, and fast forward to after the convention, they're at my doorstep and I'm ready to test. I soldered everything up and nothing changed. I lost 6 hours of my life, and guess what? I'm an idiot! I ordered a capacitor, only barely rated for the voltage. I had to solder 2 of them on top of each other to confirm. Guys, I really hate myself sometimes. So here we go again. I reorder, but now with a fat capacitor, wait 2 weeks, and hallelujah, look at the difference. It's not perfect. There's still this weird rippling on off times, but nothing that'll obviously cause EMC testing to fail. So I packed up 2 units with the new board, type up operating instructions for the lab, start filing their technical specifications form, when I noticed something kind of strange. You have to specify what kind of frequencies you're dealing with on the device, right? And one of them is called a PWM frequency, the on-off signal I just showed you that drives the motor. I looked it up, and usually Arduino style boards use around 500 hertz. Just to double check though, I look at mine. It's 250 hertz. That's kind of weird. But then for some reason, a faint outline of a memory comes to me from a distant past. I have to look it up to confirm, and of course, I'm an idiot! Using a higher switching frequency could reduce torque ripple? Remember that torque ripple we just had going on? I was running the motor at 250 hertz when I should have been running it at 20,000 hertz. This would maybe even quiet the motor down too, because of the audible 250 hertz whine. Except there were 2 problems in my way. Changing the PWM frequency wasn't as easy as I thought, like at all. And as of the moment, I had used 100% of my chip's memory. No space for a single extra line of code. I was cooked, or so I thought, until I learned humanity is officially doomed to be enslaved by robots, because god damn is ChatGPT good at engineering now. I fed it data sheets, schematics, my code, and out popped low register level code. Did it work on the first try? No. But after 3 tries? No. Took about 15 back and forths, so still helps to know what you're doing a little bit, but at the end of the day, we figured it out. And it helped me find ways to free up some memory in ways I could never have considered. All to get this. It's beautiful. And listen to the difference. Smooth like butter. So 2 days ago, I shipped these bad boys out, so subscribe if you want to see how the lab testing goes. But can I be honest with you guys, this no sales period has hit me harder than I thought. Especially because at the same time as I paused sales, my Instagram account just died out of nowhere. For the first time ever, I've net lost followers. None of my videos get more than like a couple thousand views. I hate to admit it, but I think the last couple months, I've been addicted to the dopamine from combined Shopify notifications and pretty consistent million-view reels. And now that both dropped off a cliff and all I'm left with is a bunch of customer service requests trickling in, I officially know what it's like to feel burned out. Turns out it doesn't come from working too hard, it comes from failing, and I am failing right now. So please, comment, like, subscribe. I could definitely use the dopamine. Cheers, guys. Holy shit, holy shit. Literally, while I'm editing, I went to talk to a couple of social media friends. Dude, apparently you can check your account status on Instagram, and I've been shadow banned for like fucking 2 weeks. How did they not tell me this, bro?